Good morning everyone, today is another pre-maintenance checklist video, which means we're going over all of the different campaigns which are ending with the coming maintenance. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over is the limited time quest over here. Dustal Vera Suppression Operation version 2 is going to be going away, and this includes of course the campaign boost of the rare drop rate plus 150%. Actually, next week we don't have any limited time quests, so if you do want any of the items over here, mainly the rare weapon or the new armors, as well as a bunch of LC capsules, this is probably the best time to farm for them because you do get this 150% RDR boost, which you can also stack with the free 100% RDR boosters over here. As you can see here, there is the N rare drop rate plus 100% for 1 hour. You can actually purchase 10 of these every single week at the cost of NEX cubes, which you get for leveling up. So I do recommend buying a couple of these, popping them, and then running the limited time quest, because that way you'll have 250% rare drop rate, which is pretty good. And then on top of that, don't forget to pick up your add preset skill, since you can pick up 3 of these every single week as well. Now with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is the Arks Cash Super Sale early spring 2024. This is going away with the coming maintenance. As you can see over here, it will be going away on February 21st, and it's basically just a bunch of sales where you can get additional AC at a lower price. I believe it is about like 30% off or maybe 40% off, somewhere between that range. Now, something to keep in mind is you are limited to 1 purchase, but per platform or each store. So you can purchase the Steam version, get the extra AC over here, then hop over to the Epic Games Store, purchase it again, and then the Microsoft Store and purchase that again. And you will benefit from this campaign 3 times, which is pretty awesome. However, with the recent news of the whole Microsoft Store, you know, being down for like 48 hours, I'm not entirely sure if you should be buying any AC through that store. But for the Steam store, it's definitely pretty nice if you were planning to buy any AC, but if you're free to play, then none of this really matters. Now with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about are the limited time tasks over here. There is one limited time task. I don't remember if this was a quest chain or something, but it says Belugana Runes enemy suppression requires you to slay 500 enemies in rank 4 or higher, and you do get an end augmentation success rate plus 20%. If you are free to play, this is definitely 100% something that you should pick up, because getting these 20% boosters are a pain in the butt, especially as a free-to-play player. So definitely do this. You know, Belugana Runes, 500 enemies killed. It doesn't take very long. However, remember, it has to be on rank 4 or higher. Now, while you're going to be in Kvaris doing Belugana Runes, you might as well also knock out the Rare Gorge out of the way as well if you haven't done this already, but it does require you to defeat 20 dread enemies in Rare Gorge. Remember, it's just the dread enemies. It doesn't require you to kill the ancients. So even if there isn't anyone running the gorge area, you can still go to a private room or a small room with a couple of players and just hunt down the dread enemies, because the rewards over here will help you build your rare weapon incredibly easily, as it does give you 5 icicle cubes too, 25 icicle orbs too, as well as 50 icicle cubes. This is definitely going to be very useful, especially if you haven't made your rare weapon yet, because remember, you can exchange for rare weapons using these materials at the exchange shop, so definitely do that. Now on top of that, there are also a bunch of red boxes located in Kvaris. I will leave the map in the description below, and you can just break all of those boxes. By breaking all of the red boxes and completing this quest right here, you're actually going to have more than 50% of all the required materials to actually make your first rare weapon. So they made it incredibly easy for you to obtain your rare weapon. I do recommend people to farm the gorge area before next week, because next week we are getting the Crimson Realm in the Belugana Runes, and when that comes out, I do believe most people, if not everyone, is going to be farming in the PSE combat zone, and thus there won't be a lot of people in the gorge area. So if you don't have your rare weapon yet, I do recommend getting your rare weapon or exchanging for your very first one by farming the rare gorge. It doesn't take long, it takes like 2 to 3 hours at most, and you will be able to get your very first rare weapon. Sure, it won't have a fixa, but at the very least you'll have have a weapon, and that way when you're farming in the combat zones and you're farming in other pieces of content, you will be relatively strong because the rare weapons are incredibly powerful. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are going to be the Arks Records. It's very important that you do the Arks Records because you can actually get 40 Arks Record badges this week. Since there are 2 Arks Records going on, there is the Central Kvaris Dash, so just by participating you get 20. The second one is Dyna Assault, where you can run as either a ranger or a gunner in order to get more additional Arks Record badges. And the reason why you want your Arks Record badges is because you can use them to exchange for these MK1 weapons. They do cost 30 Arks Record badges per weapon. However, there is no exchange limit. The reason why you want the MK1 weapons is because you can use this as enhancement fodder for your fixas. So if you're trying to get like a higher level fixa, you can actually use the MK1 weapons as fodder, and you can use the guaranteed add preset skills level 1. Remember, you can purchase 3 of these every single week to guarantee a fixa 1 on those MK1 weapons. Smash those MK1 weapons together to try to get to fixa 2, and then you can use those fixa 2s on your regular weapon to upgrade it, so forth and so on. So if you're like me and you currently have a fixa 3 fatale, you can try to get an MK1 weapon with a fixa level 3, smash these 2 together in order to upgrade your fixa fatale from level 3 to level 4, and then eventually to level 5, which is incredibly useful and incredibly easy to do since these MK1 weapons only cost 30 Arks Record badges. Please do not use the MK1 weapons as a replacement for the rare weapons. They are significantly weaker than the rare weapons, and since you're pretty much guaranteed your very first rare weapon, you should just use that instead, okay? Now, with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is the Growthment exchange shop over here. Please make sure to pick up all of your customization discs A's as well as B's, as well as of course all of the LC capsules, because Gladiosol LC, High Domina LC, Halphinale LC, Gigas Maste LC, these are all incredibly powerful. You definitely want to pick these up. The next thing I want to talk about is the Dread Scale exchange. Don't forget to pick up your customization disc X over here, because remember, you are time gated on this. You can only pick up 1 every single week, and you need this in order to max out your weapon tech arts customizations to level 10. So it's very important that you buy this every single week so that you do not get time gated later down the line. And last but not least is of course your Aegis Integra exchange. So we currently do have the urgent quest where we get to fight Malevolent Darkfall's Aegis, which gives you a metric butt ton of Neo A weapons. Whenever you get any of these Neo A weapons, regardless of what they are, just exchange them to Aegis Integras. As you can see over here, I've got a bunch of Neo A weapons. Just exchange all of them into Aegis Integras so that you can buy out your Aegis Soul 4s as well as all of your different Dominas in order to craft your Halphinales. Now, if we look at the prices of Halphinales, they have gone down significantly simply because everyone is exchanging for those Aegis Integras in order to craft the Halphinales, so it's natural that the price has gone down. However, because the price of the Halphinales have gone down, it also affected the price of the Lux Halphinales. So if you were planning to use any of the Lux Halphinales, it might be a good time to pick them up or to craft some of your own, simply because, if you are planning to upgrade any of your armors or any of your weapons, using Lux Halphinale is considered an endgame capsule, and it does give some very, very nice stats at 20 HP, 6 photon power, as well as 5% potency. This is a very, very powerful capsule and will definitely help you boost a ton of damage. And last but not least, don't forget to exchange your Alliance badges over here for your Star Gems. I've already done this, but you can get an additional 30 Star Gems over here every single week. So in conclusion, this week is relatively chill. You're just going to be farming the limited time quest because it does have that 150% rare drop rate boost. You're going to pop a 100% booster on top of that so that you get 250% rare drop rate boost for an hour. And then you're just going to farm as much as you want. Remember, you get a total of 10 hours worth of boosters every single week. So you can simply just, farm 10 hours of the limited time quest if you want with 250% boost, which is pretty nice. On top of that, you can also farm the Gorge area simply because, if you haven't made your rare weapon yet, the Gorge area is something that you definitely want to do before next week, because once the Crimson Realm comes out, I'm sure everyone's going to be farming in Belugana runes as well as the combat zones. This week, another thing that you could also do is farm a little bit of Belugana runes, because there is that limited time task that requires you to kill 500 enemies in rank 4 of Belugana runes for the 20% augmentation aid. That is incredibly useful, incredibly easy easy to do as well. So please make sure that you do complete that limited time task. But other than that, this week is relatively chill. We're just waiting for next week. Remember, next week we also have premium user PSO2 day. So if you are a premium user, that is definitely the time to farm. So just take it easy this week, do whatever you want to do. And then next week is when we go really hard on farming. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.